Hi, everybody. I am equal parts amazed and grateful for the number of you who are interested in my seafaring adventures. Really. I love doing this job and I love telling people about it, and you guys have given me a wonderful platform for that. Some things have happened just today that I know I'm going to be telling this story quite a few times over the next couple of days, and so I figured I would do it in this format so that everybody kind of knows what's going on with me. Um, in mid January or so, I went out to Norfolk, Virginia to go find work at the Union Hall. My union, we actually have to physically be present in the Union Hall to get a job. And so I stay with my dearest friend down there, and it took a little longer than I'm used to get a ship this time. But finally, after about 3 weeks of waiting, I got one that was really ideal. This was a really neat ship. It was on a dedicated run. It went from the Far East to an island out in the middle of the South Indian Ocean, and that's all it did. One of the things that the job promised is that I was going to get a lot of time off the ship and a lot of time on the beaches, and I was kind of looking forward to that, to be honest with you. It was going to be a really neat opportunity, and I was going to be able to sail as one grade higher than I normally have been. That was pretty exciting. But in order to be able to work on this ship, though, I had to get some specific training that is necessary for anybody who's going to be working on a government contracted ship. So I had to go to Baltimore, Maryland for 2 weeks while I got what we call the government courses, which for shipping is basically firearms training, force protection. There's even one class that I got to take called Ship's Reaction Force, which is like SWAT team for ships. And I'm not going to lie, this was actually a ton of fun. You get to shoot each other up with airsoft guns and whatnot. So getting the government courses is expensive, and they only let certain people go through it. So I was really excited just to be able to get that training because it opens up a huge number of ships for me next time I need to go to the hall. Which brings me to now. I completed the training about a week ago, I guess, and came back here to Pittsburgh. I was just basically coming back here to drop off my car and to wait for them to fly me out to Singapore. And about 2 days before I completed training, and I heard about this from one of my classmates, the ship suffered some sort of catastrophic engineering incident. And it was pretty hard to get any kind of specific details as to what was going on with it. But I called the crewing manager and he said, you know what, we'll get back to you in a couple days. We'll let you know when you can head out. And it might just take a little bit for us to solve this problem. I came to learn today, however, that the problem was actually a broken crankshaft, which I'm no engineer, but these engines in these ships are stories high, and getting the crankshaft out of any engine is a bit of a do. This is not going to happen for this ship. It's far too much of an engineering undertaking. And the ship was old, and I think pretty much they've decided that given it was getting pretty close to the end of its useful life, they're not going to invest the time, energy, and money to try and fix it. So here I am, no ship. So that means I am high and dry, and I'm going to have to go back to the Union Hall to try and get another job. Not exactly ideal, but I am pretty positive for this reason alone. Now I have these government classes, which opens up a whole bunch of new ships that I wasn't available for beforehand. And actually, there's kind of a neat story in here that while I was getting this training, I had a really, really positive experience at our training facility in Baltimore. We are required to do a lot of like continuing education and maintenance of our certificates and things like that. And based on the timing of a lot of my stuff, I was able to pretty much avoid it for a couple years. But this was the first time that I went to the training facility pretty much as Quinn. I was in the midst of transition the last time I did it, and I was pretty low-key. I just tried not to deal with people and just went to class, and I don't know. It was a very weird time the last time I was there, so I'll be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to going back. But the experience that I had there was absolutely amazing. I met some people that I had known before, I met some new people, I met people I was going to sail with, and through this experience I really, really felt like I was where I belonged, and I felt like this is okay and that this is an industry that I can do for the rest of my life. And you know, despite the fact that I've made significant changes, nothing has changed in terms of how my coworkers relate to me. And I've been really, really grateful for their kindness, for their acceptance, and for making me feel like I'm not in the wrong place. Going to get this training has been immensely worthwhile, whether I get to go out to that ship or not. And so moving forward, probably around the end of the week, maybe Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to head down to Norfolk and go back, try and be there to be in the Union Hall on Monday morning. And we'll start the whole process over again. It's kind of the way the cookie crumbles as it goes. But you know what, in all honesty, for the experience that I got at the training center and for just getting to feel comfortable again as myself in this industry, I think was worth its weight in gold. And at the end of the day, I feel really bad for the company. They are now going to have to replace a ship, and I'm not really sure how that's done. I don't know if you can just like go online and if there's like an auto trader for ships and you kind of turn up and write the guy a check and drive away. That's not how that's going to work. When you buy ships, you have to make sure that they satisfy all of the safety requirements and all the regulations that are required of the flag state. And for this ship, it's going to be a military contract ship. It necessarily has to be flagged here in the United States, which has some of the most severe requirements in the world. So whatever they end up buying, even if they have one on the line and they buy it tomorrow, it's going to take months for them to get it in service. So they are in for quite a busy couple months over there at that company. But I was able to make a really good contact there, and they have my information now. They know that I'm interested in working for them, and so that has been really positive as well. I feel like I made definitely good inroads there for next time. So hopefully, as we progress through this, I'll get a chance to work for them again. But for now, I'm back to the Union Hall. Now it's just a matter of biding my time and, hey, I got out of having to take a 19-hour flight. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to deal with that, to be honest with you. I'm not an airplane person. I've been all the way around the world in the last year, and I didn't get on an airplane once, which is kind of neat. I'm very happy that I kind of dodged that bullet. Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. A lot of these government ships are still over in the Far East right now, so maybe I'll end up going out there anyway. But here we go. We're off to a new adventure, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's followed along with my adventure so far. It means a ton to me. It really does. I think most people that have me on my various accounts realize I have a fairly healthy social media addiction, but believe it or not, that's actually part of my survival mechanism while I'm out on board. On a normal ship, there are about 25 people out there, but the way the watches work and everything else like that, you don't actually get to see a lot of people. There's not a ton of social interaction. So I found social media to be really part of my coping mechanism for being out there. And all of you really, really, really feed me while I'm there. And I don't know how to express how grateful I am for that. So anyway, heading back to Norfolk, and I will let y'all know what happens when it happens. And thank you for caring. I really am grateful. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. Fare thee well, travelers.